People say, in Spanish, for example, they say medios de comunicación, and they are referring to commercial mass media. For me, that's medios de información, information media, not communication media, because communication is two ways. I mean, there's a simple basic difference between information and communication. Information is one way, communication is two ways. So commercial media is not communication, that's information. But if you talk about community media, where people can participate, there's that dialogue between the community media and the people, and people make decisions also, that's communication. So first of all, I always, when I present these things, I say, please make the difference between information and communication. Don't say that mass media is communication, that's a different thing. Second thing I always make the difference, and I've been writing a lot about this, not only in my book Making Waves, but in the papers and the introduction of another book that just came out, which is called The Anthology of Communication for Social Change Texts. I say journalists and communicators are not the same thing. What happened about 20 years ago is that the old schools of journalism changed their name, and suddenly they were schools of social communication, but they didn't change the content. I mean, it's always addressed to media. The only thing they know is radio, television, print, and they added advertising, marketing, and some other things. But basically, they are training people to go and work on media. They don't have any idea about development and social change. Very few have one or two classes that deal with the issues of development and social change, but basically they are not interested in that. So I did, when I was writing Making Waves, and I visited Asia, Africa, and Latin America, I also visited some universities to ask which of them had some kind of specialization or special department on communication for development and social change. And I found there's less than 20 in the world. And on the other hand, you have more than 2,000 schools of journalism, so-called social communication. So it's a very dramatic thing, because when you work, as I did, in the UN, for example, or bilaterals, in the field, in communities, trying to put up projects and programs of development and social change, you realize that when you want to have colleagues that know how to do communication at those levels, have a strategic thinking on communication, you don't find them. You find journalists. I was in UNICEF in Nigeria for 4 years, and I had a good budget, great money to do things, interesting things, etc. But when I wanted to hire someone to really work strategically with communication at the community level, I would have just CVs from journalists who said, oh yeah, if I have to do this, I would do a campaign and do articles and spots and this and that. That was not what I wanted. I wanted dialogue with the community.